Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. I'm Wai Cheong, and over the next hour, we will be doing two guided meditations together. I tend to do the first meditation tend to be what we will call calm abiding meditation, and today I thought the second one would be on insights. So these two types of meditation. In Sanskrit, it's also known as shamatha and vipassana. So the word shamatha translated as calm abiding, and more commonly known as concentration. It's a particular form of meditation where the aim is to develop a mind that is able to enter into a deep meditative absorption on whatever it is we are meditating, by calming the various different disturbances or hindrances and allow our attention to abide on our object of meditation peacefully or even blissfully. So this evening I thought maybe we can explore the nature of these two different types of meditation. So for calm abiding, maybe one simple way to understand and to remember what we are trying to accomplish is we are trying to collect or gather the energy of our attention, which tends to be very scattered because of our our daily living, our lifestyle, our modern way of life. So we find that our attention is very fragmented. We're very used to trying to attend to a few things at the same time, multitasking, as we say, and also we're probably more familiar with splitting our attention across different things, as opposed to gathering them all back and allow them to focus on a single topic, single object. So collectedness of attention, the ability to gather and collect all this scattered energy of attention and allow them to apply or engage a single object, is the nature of calm abiding meditation. So if we can remember that, then we can make use of it as a way to help us to enter into calm abiding meditation. So we can start by thinking of the posture. What posture would facilitate us in gathering back our attention, as opposed to facilitate the process of being distracted, scattering of our attention. And that also, of course, include the place where we meditate and the kind of environment. And usually a posture that comes across as feeling very stable, comfortable, supportive, help us to reassure the body mainly, so much so that the body relax into the posture. Relax into the posture, start to put aside all the different physical reactivity, which are distracting by nature. Because all the aches and pain, all the tension and tightness tends to scatter our attention, draw our attention away from what we are meditating, because we feel that we need to deal with the pain in the knee or the pain in the hip or whatever is happening in your lower back. So a posture that minimizes that helps us to collect and gather our attention. And next is to create the condition that facilitates such a gathering. So the way I usually do it is I do it progressively. I start with attending to something that is very obvious, is easy to work with, easy to pay attention to. So I start with the body. So which is when I invite my attention to come back to attend to the body, to notice the bodily sensations. Then I proceed to something more subtle, which will require more attentiveness. So by changing that object, it helps to gather the attention. So I shift to feelings. In particular, if you can find pleasant feelings that come out of your meditation, which is relatively speaking more subtle, not so easy to notice, but when you do notice it, has greater ability to hold our attention, to arouse our interest After all, we all like to feel good, isn't it? So that would be the second step. And the third step is once we are able to calm the body, able to attend to pleasant feelings, then the next object we can focus on will be the mind itself. By now, we would have settled quite a bit into our meditation. We become more aware of what is going on in our own mind, the different mental activities. And by doing so, we are also drawing our attention inwards, gather our attention and allow it to focus on what is actually happening within our own mind during meditation. And indirectly, we are accomplishing this intention of collecting back, gathering together all the different scattered energy of our attention. So that's the kind of strategy. So let's give it a try in this first meditation and see whether we can facilitate this gathering of our attention in calm abiding meditation. So take a few moments, just make sure you choose a suitable posture for your meditation. Feel free to sit on a chair like what I'm doing. You can sit on the floor in a cross-leg posture. You can lie down on your back, lie on the floor on the yoga mat, lie on a lounge. You can even sit in a reclining chair in a reclining posture. The main thing is your body feels well supported in that posture. It doesn't introduce additional tension or tightness and agitation. So let's start with the posture. So regardless of whichever posture we have adopted, take care that in that posture, our back or spine feels comfortable, natural, that the posture does not introduce unnecessary pain or tension. Instead, allow the body to feel well supported in this posture of yours. Take care that you allow your hands and arms to rest on some physical support. Sitting, you can rest your hands on your knees or one on top of the other in the lap. And really allow both arms to rest on that support so that you do not need to tense up the muscles of your shoulder or arms to hold them up. Lying down might be good to rest both arms by the side of the body. Feel free to close your eyes completely during the meditation if you find that easier. Otherwise, you can also leave your eyes open or half open. See if you can adopt a posture that does not distract your attention. It does not introduce additional pain or discomfort that will draw your attention away from your object of meditation. Instead, see if you can sense that in this posture your body is resting on the support that is solid, firm, and stable, and that the whole body feels well supported with a sense of balance and safety in the posture. So much so that given time, you will find that your body may start to loosen up a bit, start to unwind, to release some of those tensions or contractions, which are our reactions to stress in life. Releasing those unnecessary tightening and contractions, the body will start to feel more and more comfortable in this posture. So that will be the first step of acquiring a seat or posture that will facilitate the gathering back of the energy of our attention. And next, to facilitate, to help body and mind to transition into meditation, to settle into meditation, I'm going to invite you to return your attention to your own body. Just a light touch without much effort. See if you can check in and notice the different sensations at the different parts of your body. Starting at the crown, resting your attention here at the crown. See if you can become aware of any sensations at the crown. Tingling sensations, warmth, coolness, slight sense of pressure, or maybe nothing at all. Let the attention sweep downwards into the face. Notice how the face is feeling today. Notice whether do you unconsciously tense up the muscles of your face. Could be muscles at the forehead, or muscles around the eyes, or those at the jaw. As you become aware of sensations at the face, see if you can persuade the muscles to relax, release some of those tensions, and welcome in a feeling of softness, of relaxation and comfort into your own face. Moving downwards into the neck, the throat, notice sensations here, attend to them. Simple sensations, nothing spectacular, slight feeling of tightness or looseness, heaviness or lightness. And with a light touch, once again, without much effort, moving down into the shoulders, notice how the shoulders are doing. Sense any tension or tightness in this part of your body. See if you can acknowledge the feelings that might be here. Quite often, the shoulders may feel tight and tense with uncomfortable feelings. See if we can simply acknowledge them as such. Moving on, let the attention flow down both arms at the same time, sensing as it goes. Notice sensations from the shoulder joints into the upper arms. Once again, we're simply noticing the simple sensations, nothing terribly spectacular or blissful. Moving down at our own pace, lightly touching with your attention, your elbows, the forearms, the wrists, and eventually notice sensations in both hands. Allow both arms to rest comfortably on their physical support in this posture. Throughout the whole process, we may find that we have to keep inviting our attention to come back here and now, In this case, come back to the body, come back to bodily sensations. We are repeatedly gathering back in a gentle manner the different scattered energy of attention, attending to thoughts or memories or fantasies or other happenings in the surroundings. We simply invite our attention to come back again and again and rest on our object of meditation. Come back and rest on the sensations within the body. Now coming back to the chest, notice sensations here at the chest. Notice sensations not only at the front of the body or inside the body, but also at the back of the body. In calm abiding meditation, we do not need to be frustrated when we discover that our attention has wandered off elsewhere, or that the mind is very busy with many different things. This is something to be expected, and it's actually a good sign when we become aware of how scattered our attention is. And all we need to do is to invite our attention once again to come back to the body. In this case, come back to the abdomen. Notice sensations at this part of our body. Sense the sensations at the level of the skin, the muscles, deep within at the organs. And not only at the front, but also at the back, sensations at our lower back. Then we continue down into the pelvis, into the hips. Notice the sensations, the weight of the pelvis resting on our seat, on the support. Continue sending our attention down both legs at the same time, so that we are aware of sensations in both legs, starting from the hips, moving downwards at our own pace, passing the knees, moving towards the ankles, and eventually arriving at both feet, so that we are aware of sensations coming through at the feet, the soles of the feet, the back of the feet, sensation in the toes. Now that we have sent our attention through the body, we have gathered our attention onto the bodily sensations. See if we can allow our body to rest in this posture, to continue to release unnecessary tensions, to continue to settle down more and more comfortably into the posture. We allow our mind, our attention to stay here and now with the body, with the bodily sensations. Bodily sensations of tightening and loosening, tension and relaxation. You can also include the sensations of the breath flowing in and out. So rest our attention here with the bodily sensations, with the breath sensations. And in particular, to gather our attention, see if we can also notice the subtler objects or feelings, in particular pleasant feelings. Pleasant feelings among the different bodily sensations, pleasant feelings of looseness, of relaxation, of ease and comfort in the different parts of our body. For example, from time to time, check in at our face, see if we have unconsciously tensed up the facial muscles again. And if we are, see if we can relax those muscles, soften the whole face, allow in a feeling of relaxation and comfort in our own face. And see if we can allow ourselves to attend to those pleasant feelings, however mild they may be. Notice them, enjoy them while they're here, and let them go when they start to fade away. So coming back to here now, invite our attention to come back to the body, to attend to bodily sensations, breath sensations, to attend to pleasant feelings that arise in and among these various different bodily sensations, and allow ourselves to enjoy them. And see if we can, by enjoying pleasant sensations, help to gather back more and more of the scattered energy of our attention. So coming back to here and now, gathering back our attention, resting it in the present moment on the various bodily sensations, breath sensations, and whatever pleasant feelings we can find within our meditation. Maybe we can also attend to the state of our own mind. By now, we probably are aware of the different thoughts, memories, daydreams that tend to pull our attention away from here and now, from our meditation. So see if we can become aware of these different mental activities, thinking, and when we do notice them, see if we can invite that attention to come back here and now and rest it on the body, on the breath, on the pleasant feelings arising within our meditation. And then finally, check in to notice at the end of the meditation the state of one's own mind, the quality of our attention. Notice whether our attention is still very fragmented, scattered, lots of different stuff preoccupying our attention. Or maybe our attention is very dull, very sleepy, not able to see things clearly. Or you may find the attention seems very peaceful, very still, very calm, attending to the body, to the breath, to the feelings, or whatever is happening in this moment. So there is a calm abiding meditation where we emphasize and we try to explore its main characteristics of collectedness, or the gathering together of the energy of our attention, gather our attention onto a particular object of meditation, whatever it is we're meditating on. Second meditation, usually I would do one related to insight or vipassana. As the name implies, this is a kind of meditation that promotes understanding, promotes the development of insights into the reality of our situation. So insight, as the name implies, as the word sight, so it involves a kind of seeing, a kind of knowing, seeing and knowing things that clearly, directly, and discovering for ourselves a different way of viewing or understanding things. Hopefully one that is more in line with reality, one that helps to overcome our misunderstanding, our distorted understanding. So clearly involve, and sometimes I think of insight as a shifting in perspective. So we are caught up in an old perspective, old frame, an old box, within which we think about things in a certain way. We sort of trapped in a certain set of ideas and concepts, which we use to interpret our experience, which we, on the basis of which we react to things. So insight is to step out of the box, shift out of that frame of reference, and to see things with new eyes, to see things with a new frame, with a new understanding. So it involves seeing. So what facilitates this shift, this sort of kind of realization? Of course, an easy way is to pay more attention, closer attention. Not to take things for granted, not to take the current ideas and concepts that we have learned or internalized, not to just simply believe in them, instead to question them, to take another look at reality itself, take a look at our actual experience, lean closer, pay more attention, notice the details, discover for ourselves whether does our actual experience correspond to our ideas and concepts, even ideas and concepts from, for example, Buddhism or from any spiritual teaching, to check up on them, to see whether our actual experience correspond to them, verify them or not. So that is how we develop our own understanding, our own insights, is to look closely. So one good place to look in the meditation setting is actually looking at the thoughts that arise, the thoughts that capture our attention, that draw our attention away from whatever it is we are meditating. What are all those thoughts about? What are the different kind of thoughts that arise, that scattered our attention? What are they telling me about? What are they talking about? So this meditation, building on what we did just now, I invite you to notice if when our attention is drawn away into thoughts, what kind of thoughts are they? What sort of thinking process is going on? Thoughts can come in different variety. One is some people tend to remember the past, reminiscence, so you can label those thoughts remembering. Oh, here I go again. Instead of watching the breath, attending to the breath, attention is drawn into the past. Others may find themselves compulsively planning the future. So then you can label those kind of thoughts or thinking or planning. Still others, like me, likes to daydream. So off we go, our mind will go off into some alternate reality, fantasizing. So you can just label that fantasy, fantasizing. Still other people would like to maintain like an ongoing inner commentary of what is happening. So we can label those thoughts commenting, which is what I tend to do in meditation, especially when I'm guiding. Either I'm commenting on something or I'm planning what to say next. So we can label them accordingly. Still, another type of thinking is judging. Sometimes people are very quick to judge their meditation experience. This is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, I'm doing well, I'm doing bad, and on and on and on. So judging. And so that's just to give you some idea. So in this next meditation, I invite you to, as we rest our attention in the present moment with whatever is happening, to pay closer attention when you notice thoughts have arisen, especially when thoughts arise drawing your attention to them. Take a closer look at the kind of thoughts that we are preoccupied with and label them accordingly so that we have a better understanding of them. We look closer at what is it that we are thinking about. Am I remembering? Am I planning? Am I fantasizing? Am I judging? Am I worrying? Are there, or maybe sometimes it is angry thoughts, depressing thoughts, anxious thoughts, or thoughts of craving, wanting, longing. Yeah. So take a good look at the thought process, and as we do that, you'll find that it helps to facilitate a deepening understanding of what is really happening to our attention. So let's give it a try and see what we will find. So let's set our body back into our meditation posture, taking care that our back, our spine is comfortable in this position. Might be helpful to start the meditation with a few deep breaths, to breathe in and out deeply for a few times. And on the out breath, to remind ourselves to release. Allowing our breath to settle back to its natural rhythm. We can make use of the breath sensations in this meditation as a support, as a resting place for our attention in between thoughts, in between distractions. We invite our attention to come back here and now and to rest on the sensations of the breath so that we are aware of the in-breath and the out-breath. So take a few moments, see if we can get acquainted with the breath sensations within our own body. Some of us may notice the breath sensations around the nostrils, while others may notice the movements of the chest as we breathe in and out. And still others may notice the rising and falling movements of our abdomen. So in this meditation, it's not really necessary to focus on one particular spot of the body. Instead, see if we can simply attend to all these changing sensations of the breath at the different parts of our body. See if we can notice that wave-like movement of breath sensations flowing in and out, expanding and contracting, rising and falling within our body. As we tune into the breath sensations, as we pay closer attention to the breath, see if you can tune in and give special attention to the out breath. Each time we breathe out naturally, as we notice that out breath, see if we can notice that subtle sense of relaxation that comes along with it. Breathing out, we can sense the relaxing of the muscles of our diaphragm, of the chest, in order for the air to flow out. And we can, each time we come back to the breath sensations, each time we notice an out breath, breathing out, we can remind ourselves to take this opportunity to release, to let go. Breathing out, we can give permission for some of the unnecessary physical tensions and tightness to dissolve and to flow away with the breath. And likewise, breathing out, maybe some of those thoughts or images that preoccupy our mind, maybe some of them might also flow away with the breath. So coming back here and now, attending to the breath sensations within our body, noticing the in-breath and the out-breath, and making use of the out-breath as an opportunity to deepen the sense of release, release of physical tightness, release of mental agitation. To make this into an insight meditation, see if we can, when we do notice that our mind is distracted, and especially when our attention is drawn into thinking, take a closer look at what kind of thoughts are we preoccupied with, and see if we can label them accordingly. Label them as remembering, thinking about the past, as planning for the future. Label them as worrying, if we are having worrying thoughts. Label them as angry thoughts, depressing thoughts, joyful thoughts. And once we do that, once we have noticed them, pay close attention to our thoughts. See if we can remember to invite our attention to come back to the breath, to come back to here and now. So coming back to this moment, coming back to the breath as a support for our attention, see if we can become curious, become interested in the kind of habits, the thinking habits that we manifest. Are we someone who tend to remember the past? Or do we compulsively plan for the future? Do we like to escape into our daydreams and fantasies? Or do we prefer to maintain an ongoing inner commentary? Periodically, we can check in and notice what our attention is preoccupied with. Are we still attending to the breath sensations within the body? Are we still noticing the out breath, deepening the sense of release? Or have our attention been drawn away from here and now into some thought processes? See if we can pay attention, notice, identify what kind of thoughts we are drawn to. What are they about? Label them accordingly and invite your attention to come back here and now, to come back to the breath. So coming back to the breath, in contrast to the breath, see if we can help us become more aware of thoughts when they are happening. Notice the characteristics of those thoughts, whether the thoughts are loud and obvious, or soft and not obvious, subtle. Notice whether you are thinking in terms of words or images. Notice whether you are preoccupied with the past or the future. Notice whether you are simply being aware or have you been caught up in judgments. So coming back to the breath as a support for our meditation and paying special attention to the different thoughts that arise within the meditation. So see if we can notice how we relate to those thoughts that draw our attention away from here and now. Are we able to be equanimous towards them? Do we get upset, frustrated? Or do we get very interested in thinking certain thoughts? So notice also our reactions towards the different thoughts within our own mind. And then finally, see if we can put aside the thoughts, the breath, take a few moments, get up, imagine gathering up all the positive things that come out of our meditations this evening, and see if we can think that we dedicate this positive momentum that we have created, dedicate it towards the fulfillment of our wishes, our aspirations. Dedicate that may anything helpful or beneficial that come out of our meditation, may they stay and linger within our body, mind, and heart, that will continue to benefit us long after our meditation is over. Okay, so there's a short meditation to illustrate insight meditation. Maybe over a period of time as we practice noticing the different kinds of habits, our habits, in terms of what do we think about, what sort of things that are most concerning to us, whereby they repeatedly arise in our meditation to draw our attention towards it, then that gives us a better understanding of ourselves, of the kind of mental habits that we are familiar with or that we have habituated ourselves to. And then later we can decide for ourselves any of them are helpful or beneficial, or some of them are actually more likely to contribute to our unhappiness or suffering. So those are things that we could learn for ourselves directly from our own experience. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention to join me this evening in meditation. And I wish you have a good week ahead, and hope to see you next Wednesday. Good night.